Welcome. Thank you for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Today is Friday, June 24th, and we're very glad you're with us today. We have a great program coming up. We are going to be talking about the Summer Food Services Program, first of all in our program, a little bit later on, the Izaak Walton League, so we'll look forward to that. We want to definitely acknowledge and credit our Owatonna Today Show sponsors. These are the businesses and organizations that help to make this show possible. We encourage you to patronize them, thank them, support their organizations, and please join them if you feel free. If you would like to be a sponsor of the show, Leanne has sponsorship packets that she will gladly get to you. Our premier supporters include the City of Owatonna and Express Employment Professionals and the Owatonna Public Utilities. Our primary sponsors, Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Anytime Fitness, Brookdale Senior Living, Fairway Foods, Little Theater of Owatonna, and the Owatonna Foundation. And our interlude supporters are Abraham Consulting Technologies, Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Glenn Mager and Michael Mager of the Brick Mager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Carlson Brandstad and Company CPAs, also ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care, Owatonna Business Incubator, Sign Pro and Auto Trim Design, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Video Productions, Triumph Graphics, and TPS Insurance. Again, support them and thank them and join them. Leanne can get you that packet. Email her at owatonatoday@charter.net or give her a call at 390-5751. Back to talk about the Summer Food Services Program. We'll take this break for our sponsors and we'll be back with, Rachel. Sorry, I had a blank on your first name, Rachel. I am sorry about that. We'll be back with Rachel. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Recreational fires are allowed within the Owatonna city limits. They must be contained within a fire pit or a device designed for such use, and can be 3 feet in diameter and no more than 3 feet high. They must be 25 feet from a building or combustibles. Only untreated or unpainted woods must be used. Fires must be attended by a person at all times that are capable of extinguishing the fire. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back, and thanks again for joining us on this Friday, June 24th. And I have Rachel.
Yes.
She said, probably I was obsessing about her last name, but it's okay, I'm going to get it right. Valesano.
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 Yes.
Oh, see, still. Rachel Valesano from the Owatonna School District. And Rachel is actually the school nutrition director.
Correct.
So you kind of oversee all of the programs, the food programs for the school nutrition programs.
Right, district-wide, all of the breakfast and lunch programs.
Okay. And you are by schooling and by title a dietitian, correct?
Correct, yes. I'm a registered and licensed dietitian.
Okay. All right. Well, you've got a big job to do in keeping all of our kids fed and all those kinds of things, but we are beyond the school year.
Right.
And so there is a program now called the Summer Food Service Program.
Right.
It's been happening here for quite some time. Maybe people are hearing a little bit more about it. I think you mentioned ahead of time a little bit more marketing is being done in regards to that. But tell us just a little bit about what the program is.
Sure. Well, the Summer Food Service Program is also a USDA program, just like the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program are during the school year. There are some unique pieces, though, about the program because the USDA is really focused on trying to bridge the nutrition gap in the summer months because oftentimes we know that kids that are when they're in school, they may be approved for free or reduced price meal benefits, so they're getting access to breakfast and lunch during the school year. But then when summer comes, what happens with those children and their nutrition? And so the USDA started several years ago the Summer Food Service Program. It is federally funded, and with that, kind of the main premise is that there is no charge, and it doesn't matter what the family's income is.
Okay.
There's no identification or registration required. Children just need to show up, and they can get a meal at no cost by way of the summer food service program.
And interestingly enough, this is not just for children school age, which we think of kind of as 5 and up, but it actually starts at age 1
Exactly.
and goes all the way to 18.
Right.
So if there are younger children in the household, they're going to benefit from it too.
Exactly.
Now, we were talking a little bit ahead of time, again, having that access to those school breakfasts and lunches during the year. You know, and you're part of what you're doing is making sure that the meals are nutrient dense and they're getting good things to eat. And what might happen during the summer when maybe those families don't have access to that and maybe not the income, what are some of the choices that might be made that aren't good for the kids?
Right. We do see, of course, food insecurity goes up in the summer months, and families are visiting food shelves more frequently. Right during the school year, those children are having access to fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, obviously lean proteins, and then in the summer months, if they don't have access to, of course, school anymore in those school nutrition programs, it's much easier for them to gravitate to those snack type foods. So exactly, they aren't nutrient dense. They might be potato chips or crackers, cookies, things like that. We see it's much more easily accessible by them in the summer months, and they're not getting those whole fruits and veggies. And
of course, that's not contributing as well to their mental and physical growth as we would like to see.
Exactly. Obviously, it's really critical for children to have nutrient-dense, highly nutritious foods all throughout the year, so definitely in the summer months, so we don't see any setbacks in their development from both a brain and physical.
We're likely to think about physical growth a lot, but we cannot negate the importance of brain growth. And even when we're talking about those little ones that are like 1 and 2 years old, there is so much going on in their brains, so those good, healthy foods that support their brain growth as well.
It's critical, because if they aren't being challenged in the summer months with school, education type program, of course we want to keep that brain firing and having good quality, highly nutritious foods to continue their brain development.
Well, it sounds like a great program. So let's talk about how it operates here in Owatonna, kind of where the programs are, what times, how people can access them.
Yes, we have expanded over the last few years. Initially, the program started at Wilson Elementary School, and then now I think we're probably on our 4th year, also operating a second site at the junior high school. So it's kind of nice to have on opposite ends of our community 2 locations, depending on where, of course, families and children live. Some we know are on their own in the summer, so might have to bike or walk, and this makes it more doable for them depending on where they live.
Sure.
We do start and stop our program at different dates at those sites. So, for example, the junior high program is already underway. We began last week on Monday. And we operate there Monday through Friday, and it is a lunch meal only, so a hot lunch meal at that location, and we run all the way through August 12th. So pretty much, a good portion of the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. And what time is it actually during that lunch period?
So it's open to the community from 12:15 to 12:45. And then at Wilson Elementary, the mealtime is the same for lunch. We do a hot lunch there from 12:15 to 12:45. We also do breakfast at Wilson from 8 to 8:30. However, that program doesn't actually begin until July 11th, and then it'll run through August 4th. So it's only a 4-week program, and then it will only be operating Monday through Thursday.
So just a little bit of, if you need to find out details, I know we've got, Leanne will have your phone number listed there, but it's the administrative office, correct, or the district offices, but it's 444-8607 to get to your office, and we're thinking that it's also probably on the website too, under
it would be on
nutritional programs or under the food service area to get more of those details. So if an adult comes with a child, can they also have breakfast or lunch?
They can, however, they do need to purchase the meals. It is $2.15 for a breakfast meal, $2.15, or $3.80 for a lunch meal. So it's really a great value, and it's we encourage families, if they can do that, to participate as well. It's really important for families to eat together, and so it could be whether it's mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or just a neighbor that's bringing the kids down, we would definitely welcome. We always have enough food, so we would welcome them to join us. But of course, the program is for the children, and so the free meals are for the kids.
But some of those ages that you were talking about, so you were talking about biking or walking, and that certainly applies to some of the older children, but the younger ones are going to need to get there by someone.
Right.
Like you said, a caretaker, a grandma,
big brother
a parent,
or big sister.
Exactly. And so maybe they're getting there by somebody else, but that person can also have that very reduced cost meal with them, and how nice that is too, because the 1-year-olds are not getting there by themselves.
No, they aren't. I hope not.
Or 5 or 6 or 8 even, probably. But
exactly.
Exactly. So does this tie in a little bit to the summer school program also that's going on?
It does. Okay. When the junior high and at Wilson Elementary, the summer school programs begin, those students also get access to the free meals.
Okay.
And so it's a great way, or a great part of their day, to obviously get a couple meals in. At Wilson, they'll get 2 meals, of breakfast and lunch. At the junior high, they will only get lunch. But it's amazing how much we can pack into a half of a day program from the educational standpoint, and meals, and take care of all of their needs.
Good.
Yes.
Have you any idea, I won't, we won't quote you or anything, do you have any idea of how many families or individuals were served by it here in the last couple of years?
I don't know how many families or even individuals. However, last summer we served over 12,000 meals.
Oh my goodness.
At our 2 sites. Oh, yes, and last week at the junior high, as I said, it was our first week. I think our largest day, we had 115 one day
for
last
lunch.
week.
And how in the world do you plan for that?
Well, that
is a challenge, right?
It is. Well, we kind of look back. We keep records from previous summers and kind of what were the more popular, maybe menu days, things like that. Weather plays into it. If it's rainy, we typically see fewer kids participating. But we of course forecast and prepare a little extra than probably the last time it was on the menu, and hope for the best. If anything, if we run out of that particular item for the day, we always have something, just like at home. You find something in the kitchen to make sure that
you get what I call the smorgasbord. It's some of that stuff.
Right.
It's not maybe the main thing, but
exactly.
But always able to provide that kind of the well balanced meal and everything too, and access to the dairy products and things that our kids need.
Yep, it's the complete meal: protein, milk, fruit, vegetable, grains.
Well, what a great program. And for those, if you yourselves are watching and you know that this is something you'd like to take advantage of, I know the website is up now and the phone number is back up again. Rachel's office, Rachel and her office oversee all of this, and what a great thing. Or if you know of someone who you might feel fits into those parameters of not being able to provide good quality meals during the summer, or definitely has a challenge, steer them this way, because I just think it's a really neat thing. So they have their specific dates and times, and you can find out more about those. But thank you, Rachel, for being on and telling us about it.
You bet.
And keep up the good work, keeping our kids healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a break for our sponsors, and we'll be back to talk about the Izaak Walton League.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gillespie with Bremer Bank Mortgage. By trusting your home loan needs to Bremer Bank, you are guaranteed a personalized, straightforward, and honest experience from application to closing. We look forward to guiding you through your next home purchase or refinance.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
I'm Bill Owens with the Owatonna Business Incubator. Whether your business is just starting out or is expanding, we have the office space and manufacturing space that you need. As the Small Business Counseling Center for this region, we are able to help you in your expansion or your startup of your business. We are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show on this Friday, June 24th. And we welcome Ted Mittelstadt here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well today. Thank you.
Good. We want to talk about the Izaak Walton League. But first, I can't remember. Are you an Owatonna native, Ted?
Yes.
You are. Okay.
I've actually lived in the same house all my life, in fact.
Oh, not everybody can say that. Oh, my goodness. Seriously. Okay. You just live in the same house where you were born and raised.
Yes.
Okay.
And my mother actually lived there as a little, most of her life too.
Goodness.
So
That is really unique in today's world. Honestly, you have to be kind of proud of that.
Yeah,
That's very neat.
it's been a neat deal. I mean, I certainly know everything about the house, so
yes, you
there's
do.
no surprises for me.
No surprises, and if and when it ever would sell, it's definitely being kind of a one-owner home the whole time, which would be odd, wouldn't it?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Well, we want to talk about the Izaak Walton League, and you have, we're going to talk about it more on a grand scale and then funnel it down here to Owatonna, but how long have you been involved?
I joined the Izaak Walton League as an actual member like in the middle of the 70s.
Okay, it's a long time.
But my father was an Ike for a number of years. And
That's
so
what you
when
get
I
to call
was,
yourselves, an Ike?
Yeah, we call the Ikes.
Okay.
So as a youngster, like pre-grade school, we would go out to Rice Lake Park, which at that time was owned by the Izaak Walton League. It was just the Izaak Walton League Park. And on Sundays, often I helped pick up trash and straighten up outhouses and that type of stuff.
Okay.
So I was involved at a young age and then was
Very
out for a
well-versed
while.
in what it was all about. So let's talk about the league itself. So it's been around for a long time, and I think you even have there's a pledge that kind of goes along with the Izaak Walton League.
The pledge really explains a lot of what the Izaak Walton League is. And the pledge is to strive for the purity of water, the clarity of air, and the wise stewardship of the land and its resources. To know the beauty and understanding of nature and the value of wildlife, woodlands, and open spaces, and to preservation of that heritage and into our sharing in it. And you pledge yourself to the Izaak Walton League of America.
Okay.
There was some people think there's a little bit of a watered down pledge from the original pledge.
Okay.
There probably was a few more real direct words about that.
Okay.
But it's pretty much the same.
All right. And throughout its history. And this is a national organization, which actually began how long ago?
In 1922, there was the 54 founders, as they're called, met in Chicago.
Okay.
And these were some businessmen and sportsmen who were very concerned about the degradation of the upper Mississippi River.
Okay.
The water, the wildlife habitats, they were all fisher people, so they their fishing was going bad. And they said it's time to call a halt to this degradation. And they used the name Izaak Walton because Izaak Walton was the 17th century philosopher who wrote the book The Complete Angler.
Oh, okay.
And his books, not only is it about fishing, but it's a lot about conservation.
All right.
And he was one of the first proponents of, maybe there should be limits. Maybe there should be seasons.
Okay.
So fishing can continue and everybody can enjoy it.
Okay. So really forward thinking that
Very
we can use our resources too much.
Yes. Okay. And most of those guys had read the book because they were anglers and decided that would be a real good name to use for this new endeavor. So they formed the Izaak Walton League. And so there's a national office, national level. There's also there's divisions, and Minnesota has a division.
Okay.
The Minnesota division was established in 1923, 1 year later.
Just after, all right. A lot of fishermen here.
Yeah, a lot of outdoors people, that's right. A lot of outdoors people, a lot of lakes, hunters and fishing people. And then the Owatonna chapter was established about a year later.
Okay.
And our charter was signed on April 23rd of 1926.
Okay.
So just this last April was our birthday, essentially.
90 years young.
And we happened to have the state convention that same weekend here for that reason.
How exciting.
If the charter's on the wall out at our chapter house, and there are many prominent business people or people from Owatonna that are signed on that charter.
Very nice.
So
throughout, from history,
yes,
historically. Okay.
From Owatonna that were business people or prominent people in Owatonna.
Okay.
And it was then the conservation group in this area, in Owatonna, and did many things. They did a lot of things they did. And one of the
Like including straightening out houses.
Yes,
what is now Red City Park,
yes.
like you said. That's
right.
the fun stuff.
but part of the league's issue is it's a grassroots organization.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's always this saying about, think globally, act locally. Well, we start locally. We do things here. Then we go up to the state. Then we look at national. Because of the organization, our local chapters can try to focus on things locally, but yet we support state endeavors, which we have people that lobby if we need to.
Okay.
We have people at national that lobby. In Minnesota, we have a unique situation that there's the Minnesota division, but there's also the regional office of the Upper Mississippi Water, which is part of the national office.
Oh, sure.
And now they also are concentrating on energy, sustainability and that type of stuff. But some of the past projects of the Owatonna chapter was one of the things they did is the pond down in Morehouse Park, which really it's not a separate pond anymore, but that was dug by donations from the Izaak Walton League to be a bass pond because people thought that kids should have a place to go fishing and not necessarily be in the river, which could be a little more dangerous.
Yes.
So they did that.
So it was originally a bass pond.
Yeah, a bass pond, and now it's been looped out and it's just a pond, but you could still fish in it. Then of course the Rice Lake Park was established, which then that became the nucleus of what is the state park now.
Yes. Yeah.
And sad to say, it probably would have been difficult for us to maintain it at that level, where the state has done a very good job.
Yes, exactly.
We were involved in the 70s into the 80s in the recycling center, one of the groups that established the recycling center.
Okay.
In
How important
Owatonna.
is that now? Everybody thinks recycling. I can't even throw away anything that's supposed to be recycled.
Yeah, I have a hard time. In fact, I'll be someplace and I don't see a place to recycle, so I'll take it home.
I know, it makes me crazy.
I'll take it home, and I can recycle it. And that was actually the longest running recycling center in the state.
Really?
My involvement there was as a Boy Scout. I worked there also.
Okay.
But it was sponsored by the Izaak Walton League and a number of other groups. When the Boundary Waters situation became a hot topic, the Izaak Walton League was very active in establishing that and protecting it.
Okay, amazing. That's a gem.
Yeah, so much so that in some areas of the state you weren't really welcome if you were an Izaak Walton member because the people in Ely that were their livelihoods focused on all this canoeing and things, and motorized portages were being removed. Well, now they all realize now that restoring the boundary waters, preserving it was the best thing there was.
Right, but at the time,
at that time, it was just money out of their pocket. There was an issue.
Yeah.
So right now we're actually involved because of the boundary waters and the copper and nickel mining situation that they want to build these mines which could leak out and destroy a lot of that area with the mining practices.
Okay.
So the thing I've always liked about the Izaak Walton League is, it's not a one-way or no-way thing. We realize that we as consumers have a need for things, somebody made a comment at our meeting that a Prius has like 75 pounds of copper in it.
Okay.
So there's a need for copper.
Right.
So we can't just say no.
Right.
It's one of these...
so it's kind of balancing.
Yeah, kind of a conflict as environmentalists. You want the electric car,
but
you have this need for something.
Copper.
So
yeah.
So what we're really pushing is it has to be safe mining processes.
Okay.
Not just we look at some of the old mines out west in areas where they just stripped it and left it.
Oh, we've learned a lot since then, right?
And in Pennsylvania, see the coal mines; they're just big piles of black stuff. I did that. So
yeah.
So that's from our past. Our current project, so we still own the Oak Glen Public Access.
Okay.
On 218, it's a park, public access. We were actually offered some pretty good money at one time to sell it because that would have taken out the public access, but we didn't take it.
Okay.
We have the Auburn Woods Wildlife Area, which is out by our chapter house, which is on 58th Street.
58.
We do our highway cleanup twice a year on 218, which is down by the Oak Glen Park.
Okay.
We're also involved in Adopter River.
Okay.
And through Hammond Park, there's a little creek that's called Izaak Walton League Creek, actually.
Through Hammond Park in town? Okay.
And one of our members did some research that if there's a waterway that's not named, you can petition to name it. And there was no name on it, so we petitioned.
There you go.
Sure, it can be Izaak Walton League Creek.
Sure.
Of course, we have the fairgrounds building that we maintain during the fair.
A lot that people are very familiar with.
The fish display and all that. And then we've also been a sponsor of Kids Safety Camp.
Oh, wonderful.
Which I'm involved in also. But, So we've done a lot of things.
You are very prevalent all over the place, and I
Yes.
knew of some of those things, of course. And like I said, a lot of, obviously, with our popularity of our Steele County Fair, many people get to know, I think, even a little bit about the Izaak Walton League just by coming into the building and some of the great natural resource things that are in there, and maybe find out more about it too. But you know, so much more is also.
No, we're about education too. So
Yep.
we're trying to educate the public.
Yep.
That's a lot of what it takes. Got to educate first.
Yeah.
You know, as you say, recycling. Years ago, we didn't think about
Oh,
recycling,
never.
but we've pushed out more and more. People are talking about recycling, education, recycling, and now it's become more and more commonplace.
Just
so.
commonplace. It's
Yes.
just second nature, really. So, what a great organization and great things that you do and continue to have done and continue to do. So, happy 90th birthday to our Owatonna chapter.
Well, thank
That
you.
is- that
Thank
is
you. We
amazing.
hope to be around for many more years.
I would hope so too. 90 and then some. So,
Yes.
and keep doing the wonderful things and providing and helping to preserve the wonderful things that we all enjoy. And we might say, you know, people are a little more technology oriented, but there's so many reasons just to be outside and enjoy all the
Right.
stuff
Get
that
outside.
the Izaak Walton League
Get
is
outside.
helping with. So, thank you, Ted, for
You're
joining us.
welcome.
Great
It's great to be
information.
here.
Yep. We'll take a break for our sponsors, and we'll be right back to wrap up.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, I'm Rich from Sign Pro and Auto Trim Design, a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. Come and see us for all your sign and truck accessory needs.
Wrapping it up for the week on this Friday, June 24th with the 50s dance party that is this evening at the Owatonna Arts Center from 7 to 11 o'clock. If you have not already gotten tickets, you might be able to get them at the door, I'm thinking, but they are available at Tone Music, Kotke Jewelers, and the Owatonna Arts Center for that event. River Springs Water Park is holding its second annual Ducky Dash. That is this Sunday, the 26th of June. It benefits Park and Rec's Youth Scholarship Program, which enables all Owatonna youth to participate in Park and Rec programs. The ducks can be purchased in advance or as part of your water park admission that day, and there are going to be prizes awarded because those ducks are going to be traveling down the Lazy River Water Park feature, and the first 20 ducks to make it there are going to win some prizes, so that's kind of fun. This Sunday also, the summer movie series continues in the area that is called Sundays in the State. It's the former State Theater, 215 North Cedar, nice grassy area, and this Sunday's feature will be To Kill a Mockingbird. The movies, as all through the summer on the various dates that we'll be mentioning to you, start at dusk, and it is free to attend. So come on out, spread a blanket, bring your chairs and your families, and what a great event. A reminder also that July 1 is the deadline to nominate a Steele County resident for the 2016 Male and Female Outstanding Senior Citizen Award. You can get a hold of Bruce Kubicek at 451-6616 or on the Steele County website. Next week, Owatonna Shoes 70th Anniversary, Special Olympics, the Grow a Farmer Fund with the Initiative Foundation. The City of Owatonna is on for their report, and LTO's production of Grease. Please join us next week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.